Yo, what's going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. So today's video is essentially a follow-up or prequel, depending on how you look at it, to the Delta theory that I made not too long ago on how to actually defeat Delta. In today's video, we're going to be discussing why I personally think she is in this situation where she's being kept alive inside this small little drone and given some potential backstory for her character. So straight away, this video is already kind of split down the middle in terms of legitimacy, because it kind of comes down to which version of translations you more closely follow. Now, if you go off the official translations from Viz Media, then it's going to be much harder to actually come to the same conclusions that I do, because if you follow the fan translations, well, you'll see why. So, Viz Media use that girl when Amado is talking about Delta. However, the fan translations use my daughter. So, as you can already tell, the fan translations tell a whole other different story in comparison to the official translation. Now, I remember when all this was originally happening, when the chapter first released, and as you can imagine, the entire community were insanely puzzled, not knowing what to believe. People were asking fan translations whether or not there was a mistake, and despite all this, the fan translators were adamant on their decision that the words "my daughter" was used, and that it may have just been a decision from Viz to change it for whatever reason. So still, there's no 100% confirmation, because you could say, well, this is the official version, you know, this is what's going to be used. However, there's been times in the past when official translators have got it wrong. That is, it's more common than you'd like to actually imagine. It's gotten better over recent years, however, it's still a prominent issue amongst the industry, and sometimes fan translators can genuinely be a more accurate deception. However, at the same time, you know, it's a very controversial topic. You never know what to go with. So, like I said, this video, straight off the bat, there's already question marks above it. I mean, it's a theory, so there's already going to be question marks above it. However, you know, this doesn't help. But still, let's get into the theory and backstory, potential backstory of Delta. So like I was saying, either way, this video, it's not about whether it's right or wrong, it's more about the possibilities if it is right. So, Delta and Amado. If Delta is Amado's daughter, then why did he do or conduct all these experiments on his own daughter, presuming he is the one that turned her into this cyborg robot droid type being? It all seems very cruel, don't you think? Well, what if he had no choice but to actually do this? I want you to try and imagine a time, a young Delta, probably around a similar time to the 4th Great Ninja War. I want you to try and imagine her being killed, or at least on the brink of death, and Amado needs to try and save her life. This is where a special someone comes in. This is where Jigen comes into the picture. Now, we know that Jigen has been on the planet for a considerable amount of time now. You know, it's been at least quite a few years, considering the age in which he adopted Kawaki. So, what if he is there during the war and Amado, in a state of desperation and fear, devotes himself to Jigen and probably the birth of Kara in order for him to promise to keep his daughter alive and safe? Maybe this is how Delta is able to be kept alive inside the drone. Maybe Jigen gave Amado access to the resources that he needs to be able to create his daughter a drone for her able to basically store her consciousness in, I suppose you could say, and then give her access to these other bodies. Maybe this is how Delta is kept alive inside of her drone. Maybe Jigen gave Amado the resources he needs to be able to transfer his daughter's consciousness and soul into a drone in order to keep his young daughter alive. However, he obviously would have still wanted his daughter to feel like, well, his daughter is more human-like and essentially just have more freedom, which is why he then would have started work on the actual Delta bodies. This explains how that small Delta drone gives life to the other Delta bodies, and also explains why she couldn't actually eat anything while at the dinner table with Jigen, because technically she's not real. She's essentially just on some form of constant life support inside the small drone. Let me know what you guys think of this theory in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen the other theory video I made on this relating to it, then it'll be on the end screen of this video, as long as I remember to put it on. As always, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not ready to become a member of the Senpai Squad, and I'll be seeing you guys in another video. But until then, peace. 執着の血を焦がす寡黙な炎をおびき寄せられた神々の化身恐れを知らぬ剣が貫く目指す場所とはまだ見ぬ定め近づいてくる決戦の時